You would never wear your niece's panties?
No, never.
Have you ever jerked off into her underwear?
Absolutely not.
Question for you, Jonathan. Are you a monster? Are you a monster?
Not at all.
Do you see where we're going with this?
I do. I do.
At the end of the day, there is no reason your DNA should be anywhere inside her underwear. Period.
Can you put his stuff back in his pocket?
No, we'll put it in the bag.
Oh, no, they'll bag it. So you're here, you call me. You're fine. No, you going right downtown to... Is that the old one that's right there by where it goes up?
Well, you know where the jail is, the big tall building?
Yeah, the old one, not the new one. Not the new courthouse.
No, not the new courthouse.
Jail.
No, we're not going to the jail.
Oh, 501 is the one that's on Adams Street or Bay Street.
Yes, 501.
It's got all the steps you go up to. Okay.
Yeah, correct. But we go in the other side.
Okay.
On December 19th, 2018, 16-year-old Iyana Sawyer walked out of Terry Parker High School in Jacksonville, Florida, and was never seen again.
Jacksonville 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Did not come home from high school today. She go to Terry Parker High School. Her phone is going straight to nothing. Okay. You have no idea what she...
At 5 months pregnant, her disappearance shocked the community and set off a desperate search. But as investigators dug deeper, disturbing truths began to emerge. The father of Iyana's unborn child was her own uncle by marriage, Johnathan Quiles. And soon, all signs began pointing toward him as the prime suspect in her vanishing. What followed was a chilling story of betrayal, a search for justice, and a conviction even though Iyana's body was never found. In police interviews, Johnathan Quiles tried to deflect suspicion, painting a picture of family drama and false accusations.
Jonathan, I met you at your house before we talked Detective Abbott.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you've met
No, I have not.
Detective Miller.
Likewise.
There's been a lot happened we need to talk about, okay? I want to listen to everything you got to say, but naturally I'm going to have questions. Can't really ask those questions unless I go through your rights. And this is a way to protect you, okay?
Yes, sir.
So I want to hear everything you got to say, but I'm going to read your rights first, okay?
Okay.
One of the things that we're investigating, is with your niece,
Yes.
Samaya.
Oh, Samaya.
Yes.
Okay.
So, what can you tell me about Samaya? Like, why do you think you would be here because of Samaya?
I've been accused many times by the older siblings, well, the sisters and stuff, that I've been inappropriate with Iyana and Maya.
And how would they think what would they think is inappropriate?
Well, let's say this: the first time that it was brought to anybody's attention, they didn't hear it directly from them. I heard it from like a sister, Margie, and she mentioned that that they think that I was the reason that Yana was turned out because she got caught in, having sex with a guy. It's been just rocky roads with me and the sisters. Jametta started. I think Johnathan has been inappropriate with Maya and Yana. Mm-hmm. Now they question them girls separately, together, and it's been nope. He's never been inappropriate with me. And it's I don't have nothing to hide. I got kids older than them.
He claimed there were serious allegations being spread by relatives and insisted they had a history of creating wild stories. As officers pressed him for answers, Quiles suggested his family was trying to force false words into Iyana's mouth, dismissing the entire situation as gossip and lies. But behind his defensive words, investigators sensed there was much more to the story, and they were determined to find the truth.
So you're doing all these things with the girls.
No, with all of them.
Right, with the
kids. All of the kids,
But then they're accusing you of messing with the girls?
Correct. Yeah, and this is they came out with that. They started like real heavy with it when Iyana went with that boy across the street and doing all that. That's when it started like really thick, and then.
Give me an example of things they think were inappropriate.
Well, I would just say what they were saying, and again, this is not something that they came directly to talk to me about, because had they did, I would have whipped out my phone and say, hey, look, Kim, wait, no, this is what we talk about every day, and the majority of it.
So you talk to them on the phone?
Yeah, I talk to them.
Talk to them, what do you... So what, did you use Facebook?
No.
Instagram,
Iyana Snapchat. Iyana showed me about Snapchat.
As the investigation continued, authorities began digging into her digital footprint, searching for any clues that could lead to her whereabouts. Officers combed through her computer, sifting through files, documents, and even the contents of the recycle bin. Every folder, every note, and every password-protected file was scrutinized, hoping to uncover any detail that could help piece together the mystery of her disappearance. It was a painstaking process, but one that could ultimately hold the key to solving the case. In the midst of this search, officers focused on specific documents and notes Iyana had saved, some of which had even been deleted and recovered from the recycling bin. There was confusion over the files' origins and who had accessed them, but every piece of digital evidence was treated as a potential breakthrough. Investigators knew that within these notes could lie critical answers, and they were determined to leave no stone unturned.
Hey, Sarge. Hey, does this go to the property room?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. So Carlos said, I just want to make sure before we do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but take proper room.
Okay.
Put in
And this will go as the 94, the one he's going to write, that
Correct.
CCR. Okay.
It's evidence.
Okay.
It's not personal. And, yeah.
All right, does that sheet go with it, or who's that sheet go to? The consent search?
It goes in the proper room also.
Property room also. Okay, good to go, sir. Yeah, it can, both of these go in the property room, the paper and this. And it's going to be under your 94 CCR. Yeah. As far as witness, do me and you need to sign this?
I'll sign it.
Because there's 2 spots, so I didn't know if we needed.
As evidence mounted, the focus shifted to the property room, where key pieces of potential proof were carefully logged and preserved. From recovered files to physical evidence, every item was documented and secured, each one a possible puzzle piece in understanding Iyana's fate. Officers meticulously handled consent forms and signed off on evidence transfers, knowing that any detail, no matter how small, could help build the case against Johnathan Quiles.
Relatives, because
no problem.
believe it or not, I found people hiding in closets and
Yeah.
underneath beds, and
Yeah.
we thought they were missing. It's like, nope, they're right here the whole time, you know?
We have no
See,
problem.
we had
Yeah.
no communication prior to
whatsoever.
her going missing
Yeah.
because of different
It was
issues
just,
that the family
Oh,
was having.
okay.
We've been having a bit of
Our
a family issue.
communication-
I know.
I don't.
I used to be on the job too in New York. I know you find crazy stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
But we literally had her kids for
whole
summers.
Yeah.
Summer at a time, and then
And by
Yeah.
there, I mean
weekends,
all four.
like
All
all
four.
of them. And it's just like if we knew where she was at, we would have been the first ones
We're
to grab her
posting
ass
stuff
and
on our
bring her
Facebook.
over.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same way
exactly.
We're
It's
posting
just-
stuff on
it
our
just
Facebook
don't-
trying to
yeah,
find her the same
that's-
way they are. It's like, are you serious?
Yeah, that's-
Even though we're not speaking.
Meanwhile, interviews with Quiles and other family members painted a picture of confusion and inconsistency. Quiles recounted unrelated incidents and distracted the conversation with stories of past conflicts and missing person cases. He speculated about Iyana's whereabouts, but his explanations remained vague and contradictory. Despite his attempts to downplay the seriousness of the situation, investigators grew more convinced that Quiles knew far more than he was willing to admit. The search for Iyana and the truth continued, with mounting urgency and suspicion. Quiles described her as an honor student, driven and focused on her education, with plans to leave home the right way after high school. He insisted she had never disappeared like this before, yet his stories remained riddled with contradictions. He spoke of family tensions and claimed Iyana often complained, but he also painted a picture of a loving mother who supported her. These conflicting accounts only deepened the investigators' suspicions and their resolve to uncover the truth behind the disappearance.
And when I asked her about it, she said that she knows who the father was, but she ain't saying.
Oh, she did know?
Yeah, she knows who the father of her child was. And she just, but then, you know what I'm saying, you can't really take anything that she's saying serious, because now that she's been gone, all this stuff that's been going on, going around, she's been dealing with this dude, then that dude, and this other one is something that she was dealing with cousins at the same time, that one's supposed to be the baby father or something. You know, another one she's dealing with. So I question literally everything from.
Further complicating the case were Quiles' statements about Iyana's pregnancy. He claimed that she had expressed uncertainty about the baby's father, suggesting there were multiple possible candidates. He mentioned other individuals she had allegedly been involved with, casting doubt on her own words and creating a web of confusion around the situation. This only raised more questions for investigators and made it even harder to separate fact from fiction.
That's all I know.
That's all you really got. Yeah, I got you, man.
So, you know, they said that her card was used at a Wendy's in Bay Meadows, and then her card again was purchasing internet device or some sort, and they were over outside some lady's house. This is the information that we were just being fed.
New leads emerged when investigators discovered that Iyana's card had been used at a Wendy's in Bay Meadows and later to purchase an internet device. These transactions happened after she was reported missing, raising even more questions about who was using her belongings and why. Reports suggested the card had been used near a woman's house, adding yet another layer of mystery to the case. Investigators chased every lead, determined to find out the truth behind these suspicious activities and how they connected to the disappearance.
Is he able to keep his cell phone?
What do you got in your pocket?
Yeah, he always has it for work. Yeah.
Okay.
Is he able to keep his cell phone? He can call me after. So get him.
That'll be all fine.
Okay, then you said they'll let him use the phone?
Yeah, he can take it with him.
You can take it with him.
He can take it with him, yeah.
You got it.
Lay down.
Yeah, he can take it with him.
Okay. No, I watch cops. Yeah, I watch First 48. I watch all that. So. Yeah. I understand.
What?
No, it'll turn out to be nothing, but you got to do your job.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Can you put his stuff back in his pocket?
No, we'll put it in the bag.
Oh, no, that bag. So you'll be able to call me.
You're fine.
No, you going right downtown to... Is that the old one that's right there by where it goes up?
Well, you know where the jail is? The big phone building?
Yeah, the old one, not the new one. Not the new courthouse.
No, not the new courthouse.
Jail.
No, I'm not going to the jail.
Oh, 501 is the one that's on Adams Street or Bay Street?
Yes, 501.
It's got all the steps you go up to.
Yeah, correct. But you know, we go in the other side.
As the inconsistencies in Quiles' story grew and the evidence began to mount against him, the police decided it was time to take action. Quiles was searched and subsequently placed in handcuffs, a decisive move driven by the troubling revelations and contradictions surrounding Iyana's case. Investigators were convinced that Quiles held the missing pieces of the puzzle, and his arrest marked a critical turning point in the search for justice.
And she said she would give a lie detector test, so I have no problem with letting them hook her up to a lie detector test. Go ahead, clear this out in the open.
I don't think that'll be necessary.
No, I want them to hook her up to a lie detector test because all this foolishness right here. No, you can give her one. I haven't. She already said she would give one.
As long as the information she's telling is true, to the best that she remembers, it won't be necessary for a lie detector test. Okay. These are sensitive.
In the midst of the investigation, tensions rose even higher when the idea of a lie detector test was brought up. Quiles insisted that Iyana's mother should be hooked up to a polygraph, claiming it was the only way to clear up the so-called foolishness surrounding the case. He argued that every person involved should take one, hoping to shift suspicion away from himself. However, law enforcement made it clear that if the information being provided was true and accurate, such measures wouldn't be necessary. Still, the mention of a lie detector test only underscored the growing desperation and distrust among those closest to Iyana's case. Charges were eventually brought against Johnathan Quiles, including counts of murder and evidence tampering, as investigators gathered substantial information tying him to Iyana Sawyer's disappearance and presumed death.
Questions, and these may sound very bizarre and out of left field. Okay, so don't be offended by this. Have you ever worn her underwear?
No,
Have you ever jerked off into her underwear?
absolutely not.
Okay. Your wife, she's a lot taller than her. She weighs a lot more. I'm not saying she's overweight, but she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Does your wife and her share underwear?
No. No, my wife would never wear,
And you would never wear your niece's panties?
No, never.
Okay. Would they even fit?
I couldn't tell you. She's real skinny, so
Okay.
the last I checked that.
Do you see where we're going with this?
I do.
At the end of the day, there is no reason your DNA, you're the only person that can have your DNA. There's no reason your DNA should be anywhere inside her underwear. Period.
Do you know what dropout is?
No.
It's where you have semen inside a woman's vagina and gravity kind of drops out. Sometimes even if you use a condom, you take it off and it still comes in there, okay? Sometimes it's on your fingers, but it's called dropout. Ends of the underwear. It's there.
Yeah, I get it, but it's not mine, man.
It is yours. That's the problem. The reality is the fact that you're going to deny it.
Because it's the truth.
It's not the truth.
Yeah, man. So
and it's not even just regular DNA. It's not like I just touched him and my DNA's on there. It is DNA.
Despite his continued insistence on his innocence, the mounting inconsistencies in his statements and the evidence recovered painted a different story. The case of Iyana Sawyer remains a tragic and complex investigation. With the chilling details revealed through police interviews and mounting evidence, it became clear that the search for justice was crucial. The involvement of family members, conflicting accounts, and the eventual arrest of Johnathan Quiles showcased the difficult and emotional nature of the case. While answers were sought, the pain of Iyana's disappearance left an undeniable mark on everyone involved.